I pulled up in front of a pool room on Warren and stopped. One of the loafers in the doorway walked over to the car. Before he reached it, I got out and met him on the sidewalk. "Preacher baby, I see them white folks finally let you out." Preacher grinned. He was a short, fat, dark-skinned Negro with a deep, booming voice. "Yeah, baby, them honkers damn near got the nitty from the gritty before they let me out. Man, 5 years in that place without nothing but some fags to help you pass the time ain't my cup of tea." I took him by the arm and walked him away from the car and pool room. "Dig, baby," I said. "I got a thing on the fire, and if you help me take it off, I'll give you $1 grand. He stopped and looked at me closely. "You know I'm still on parole, Whoreson, so I can't stand no stick-ups, baby. But other than putting that candy stick in my hand, you got your man." "It ain't no stick-up," I said, and grinned. "And you ain't got to crack no heads." I studied him for a moment. "You know, I got to thinking about you, preacher, about how you used to carry that Bible around up there in the joint and went to wondering if you brought it home with you." He smiled. "Man, when I got out, I gave it to the screw at dress out. I told that honky he should try reading it. He might find something in it to help him." "What about all that bullshit you used to talk up in the yard, preacher? What happened to all your plans on starting you a church and trimming all them sisters out of their money? You'd have forgot about it already, huh?" He scratched his nose. "Oh, baby, I ain't forgot. I just ain't got no green to get started. I sent all the way to California to give me some bullshit license stating I'm an ordained preacher man, but it ain't doing me no good, Whoreson. I ain't got no money to get started with." 2 old women passed us. "Just look, man, all them sisters just waiting for me to trim 'em, and I can't get my goddamn church off the ground." "Well, dig this, preacher. I got good news for you." I put my arm around his shoulder. "How much will it take for us to rent a storefront, put a second-hand organ in it, and a few chairs so we could get by for a few days?" "What's this few days shit, Whoreson? If we set up, we might as well go for the long gallop." "That part of it is impossible, baby, and I want you to realize it," I said sharply. "I'm getting ready to play stuff on an old white bitch, and as soon as I take off the cash, she gon' run to the man. But you'll have at least 24 hours to get what you want out of the joint and get in the wind." We walked together until we came to a drugstore. "Wait a minute, preacher. I might as well run in here and cop some things I'm going to need." He followed me into the store. I walked around the counter and found some white envelopes. No one was watching except preacher, so I pulled 2 loose from the pack and put them in my inside pocket. We walked over to the stamp machine at the beer and wine counter, and I bought 2 stamps and put them on the envelopes. Preacher looked at the wine counter wistfully. "You want to kill a fifth with me?" I asked. "Do I want to get rich? Do I want to go to heaven? Ask me that, Whoreson. But don't ask me about a bottle of wine. You know goddamn well I want some sweet red." I bought 2 bottles, and we walked back towards the car. "Man, don't tell me you gonna play on that young kid in your car, Whoreson. Don't look at me like that, preacher. All I'm doing is keeping my game tight." He snorted. "Game tight, hell, man. All you want to do is jaw to that young girl. That ain't cunt, man. That's still pee-hole." I looked at him in disgust. "Looks to me like you read too much of that goddamn holy book while you was doing your last bit." He studied me closely. "You ain't changed none, Whoreson. I forgot that you was a genuine snake." He continued, as though he was reading the gospel. "The white race won't have you, and the black race don't want you." "Fuck you, nigga, and your black ass," I stated angrily. He ignored me, and opened the wine and took a long drink, then passed me the bottle. "I remember, Whoreson, while we was in the joint, you was strange fruit. When some of the dogs ran around raping white boys, you went them one better. You raped white and colored. It didn't make you no difference. If you saw a weak man, he was gonna be had." I turned up the bottle and drank deep and long before replying. "That was only because I was young and wild, preacher. You can't hold that against me." He shrugged his wide shoulders. "I don't hold nothing against you. It ain't my place to judge, nor would I judge you if I could. I done did some rank things in my life, but I ain't never tampered with no child. I cursed. Call me in the morning, man, if you ain't changed your righteous mind. I gave him the open bottle and walked on over to my car. She greeted me as soon as I got in the car. I thought for a moment you was going to stay up here all night. I set the second wine bottle down between her legs. She opened the bag and sniffed. Shit, I don't drink no wine, man. I drink scotch, mister. I don't drink nobody's wine. Just pour me a cup of wine, girl. I hear nobody say it was for you. Did you? She poured out 2 cups full and drank hers down fast. As soon as I caught a gap in the traffic, I pulled away from the curb. I stared at her thighs again. Shit, preacher had to be insane. This damn sure wasn't no child. She spoke up suddenly. We sure had some good pot yesterday. My cousin's boyfriend brought some home when he came home on leave, and it sure was good. On the left side of the street, I saw a gas station, so I made a U-turn and pulled up in the driveway. Fill it up, I yelled to the attendant. I removed my bankroll and fanned it out, making it look larger than it was. Her eyes grew big. Damn, I ain't never seen so much money. What you do for a living? Stick up people? Slowly I removed a $100 bill from the roll and dropped it in her lap. How would you like to have that for your very own? I asked, lightly. Surprise and greed leaped from her eyes. You wouldn't give that to me, would you? She asked in a husky voice. It's all yours if you want it, I replied softly. What would I have to do for it? She asked. I smiled coldly to myself. There was the bait, and she was nibbling at it greedily. I put my hand down between her legs and rubbed her intimately. She didn't pull away or resist. Now, she said, more to herself than to me, if you gave me that money, you just take it back as soon as you got through doing whatever you wanted to do. The gas station attendant came to the window, and I paid him. I'll tell you what I'll do, honey. I'll let you put the money in an envelope and mail it to your mother, or if you won't, mail it to yourself. The fish was caught. She leaped clear out of the water. I ain't gonna mail nothing to my mother, 'cause she wouldn't give it back to me. I pulled an envelope out of my pocket and handed it to her. She stared at it for a moment. Put the money in it, I said quietly. She dropped the bill inside it, as if in a trance. Now close it up and seal it, I said, leading her right down the road to the butcher shop. She wet it with her tongue and sealed it. Here, let me see if you got that sealed right. I removed the envelope from her hand, made my switch, and handed her the dummy back. Yeah, it's sealed. Reach in the glove compartment and get a pencil out, and put your name and address on it. She started to hand it back to me, but I refused. No, baby, I don't want you to give me the envelope. I don't want you to get the notion I might switch on you, so you hold on to it. You know the money's in it now. She clutched the envelope to her. I ain't never did nothing like this before, she said while writing out her address. I drove slowly and watched for a mailbox. When I saw one, I parked beside it. Well, baby, here we are. She looked scared for a moment. You sure you want to go through with this? She stalled. Give me back the money, Dad, if you don't want to go through with it, I said, bluffing. She bit down on her lip. How long have I got to be with you? About 5 minutes. It shouldn't take longer than that, should it? I asked, amused. I don't know, should it? She replied. I could tell she was way out of her program. When I reached for the envelope, she opened the door and got out hesitantly. I watched her closely until she mailed the letter. If she had tried to run, I'd have run her little ass down and probably jumped on her for trying to put shit on me. She climbed back in the car and sat over by the door nervously. I put my foot in the gas tank, making a beeline for the nearest motel. Even though I had 2 motel rooms, I wasn't about to take this tender young thing to one of them and have one of my war horses walk in on me. I pulled up behind a motel on Linwood. When she saw me park, she shook her head.
I ain't going in that place.
Well, I don't know what you're planning on doing, girl. You done took my money, and I guess you know I can't get it back out of no mailbox.
She shook her head. I know that, but I just ain't going in none of the motels.
What you want to do there? I asked. Do it in a car someplace?
I don't care, she answered in a frightened voice. For a few moments I just sat and thought about that. Well, it would save me the motel money, I reasoned. It was good and dark now, so I wouldn't have any difficulty finding a good spot to rip this sweet meat off. I slammed the car in gear and backed out. After my third alley, I found just what I was looking for, an old, dilapidated garage with a house vacant. I backed up into it and pointed to the back seat with my thumb. Climb over the seat, I directed. I wasn't taking any chance of her getting away this close to the finish line. She climbed over obediently, then sat in the corner like a frightened kid.
Take them shorts off. Everything,
I growled. I removed my sport coat, shoes, shirt, then climbed over the seat. She hadn't taken anything off, so I straightened her out on the seat and removed her shorts and pants. The sight of such a young, tender thing excited me, so I just stripped her down. Her breasts were small and hard, and I kissed them affectionately. My breathing became deep and broken as that beautiful sight aroused me. When I put my finger inside of her, she began to cry, but I was beyond any feelings of concern. I unzipped my zipper. She became aware of what was about to happen and cried, Wait, I didn't tell you, but I ain't but 16. At that moment, it wouldn't have mattered if she wasn't but 10. I was beyond the point of caring. I removed my finger and used it to guide myself with. She screamed piercingly as I entered her, causing me to come instantly. Damn! I swore and sat up.
Instant cock. I could make a fortune off you on the market.
I straightened up my clothes and climbed back in the front seat. She sat in the corner, slowly dressing. You hurt me, she said angrily.
You hurt my pocket. You ever think about that?
I said, amused. She smiled. Now that her ordeal was over, she was happy. I'm going downtown and buy me 10 dresses when my money arrives.
For a moment, my conscience nagged me, but not enough to make me part with $100. Would you do that for another $100 bill? I asked curiously. She hesitated for a moment. If you promise to do it as fast as the first time, she replied coldly. I started to laugh and continued to laugh until she climbed up in the front seat. I don't see nothing funny. What's so damn funny? She asked, and punched me in the side. Nothing,
I said, holding back my laughter. I pulled out my bankroll and gave her a $5 bill.
I'm gonna put you out at the bus stop. You can either take a car or catch the bus. Suit yourself. I just don't have the time to drop you off.
She clutched the 5 spot to her. Do you always spend this kind of money on the girls you go out with? She asked. When I didn't answer, she continued. If you want my address, I'll write it down for you. I looked at her and smiled.
No, thank you, honey. When you get old enough, I might run into you somewhere.
When I pulled up in front of a bus stop, I looked at her and said,
Instant cock, and began to laugh until my sides hurt.
She looked at me and shook her head. When she got out of the car, she was smiling to herself.